workshop model is the only lesson strategy that makes any lesson look similar, regardless of what activity we do and what skills students are working on acquiring. Aim and learning targets are essential for setting the goals and the expectations for the lesson. Having strong classroom management and procedures is the key to a successful lesson in this case. After getting used to the structure, students look for the learning targets because they know exactly what to expect and what to accomplish by the end of the lesson. Inquiry-based teaching is the base for designing a workshop model. Use of the workshop model breaks down the learning into steps while successfully climbing up the ladder of complexity in tasks. It consists of the following steps. Warm-up, which is your do now. This can be a reviewing question connected to the previous lesson, an admit slip, a check for prior knowledge, a hook for the upcoming lesson, and so on. This is simply done to help the students settle in, get their attention, help them turn their brains on, and get ready to learn. Mini lesson. This part is a review of what we have learned already, a quick connection between what we have been learning or doing and what we will be doing today. It is also a step to teach, introduce, and reteach any material necessary. Work period. I do. Analyzing the task, going over the directions, example, and so on. It's a modeling step in the workshop. The next step, we do. Check for understanding. Guided step before gradual release of responsibility. It may sound as simple as, do we understand what to do? Do we need another example? Or, do we need to do an example together? This step is the key to the gradual release. If students understand what to do, they are ready to work. This formative assessment helps me to determine whether or not my students are ready to do the next step. You do is the next step. Students work independently, in groups, in pairs. No matter what the activity is or the assignment, this is when students are released from a guided practice into applying the skills independently from a teacher. Monitoring and formative assessing students with feedback on progress become fundamental during this step. Closing. This step is designed to bring the class back together for sharing, for further assessment, wrapping it all together in order to get closure of the lesson. An exit slip is my everyday end of the lesson. An exit slip might include verbal questions like, what did you learn today? Did we achieve learning targets? How did we know this? Or a summarizing question. Sometimes I ask my students to rate their understanding. This is when I also connect today's lesson to tomorrow's lesson so that my students know where we're going next and why. The workshop model allows me to differentiate, to assess, to adjust, to monitor my student learning. Establishing the same learning targets for each student allows me to level the field in the classroom. Differentiating and monitoring allow me to create different pathways of getting my students there. Workshop model guarantees relevant learning with individualized instruction. Workshop model allows me to use different things at the same time to be able to fill in the learning gaps in my student progress. In my opinion, workshop model is a highly effective strategy that guarantees student-centered learning in a structured setting. It helps me analyze and adjust student learning while achieving established learning objectives. This structure helps me with executive functioning skills in a classroom with multi-level, multi-language learners. Some teachers might say that it is making every lesson the same, a cookie cutter. I think of it as more as using a calendar template. It doesn't matter what field of profession we're in, we use a calendar in a differentiated and customized way while being on the same page. We use the same exact template differently, but yet highly effectively. Workshop model is a necessity in every single classroom, from life skills to AP, from math and science to English, from elementary to secondary. Try it, own it, make it yours, love it.